What is going on, friends? My name is Colin, and I'm riding on this lowly highway in Lower Virginia. And then I look ahead and I see some clouds coming in, some diabolical clouds. Looks like there's going to be rain. And I think it's inevitable that as riders, we all know we're going to get caught in the rain sometimes. But what if you had something on your bike or even in your car that could help mitigate that? And that's what we're going to talk about today. Every day when you get on, you kind of look at the weather and you say, all right, here's what's going to be like today. You look at the temperature, you look at the radar, you look at kind of ideas. If you're going to get caught in the rain, and obviously nobody wants that, but today knowing that I'm heading home and said like there's like a 60-70% chance of rain, and looking around, I can see that. What if you had an app on your phone that could actually predict exact percentages, and then you could go through and pick the times you want to leave, and if it was raining, it could give you alternative routes to plan around that. And there's this great app, and I was actually doing some research, and I reached out to Weather on the Way, and it's a little app that's been on, I think it's been around for a couple years now, don't quote me on that, but start talking to the developer and then the lady that was involved with it, and then we start chatting, and then after we start talking for a while, I told her, hey, listen, I'm going to do a couple tests on this thing, and what's cool is they gave me a code for you guys, so make sure you check the description, but after the video's done, go through and check code, you get 10% off. But I'm going to go through right now and break down what this app is all about. And there's two versions. There's a free version, which most apps have. You have a free version, and then you have a paid version. The one I'm going to talk to you about is a little bit about both. But I've been testing on a couple rides now the paid version and what it's been for me.
When you come up to the main screen here, you're going to see, like on your left corner, now I have this in landscape mode, but if you're in portrait, it'll be up top. You put where you are right now, where you want to go. So it's like Google. It's like Waze, it's like any type of mapping software that you do. Difference on this one, it's specifically around weather and patterns and percentages and what if you could get rained on. And then you take all these points, which I'm going to show you in just a second, and then you hit a button and then it transfers you over to Apple Maps, so then you can navigate your route. So you pick your route, you pick which one you're going to go, then you go to Apple Maps to do that. So let me show you what this app is all about. It's really cool, actually. I have been testing this thing now for about a month and a half, and I've done it on a couple motorcycle rides, I've done it in a car, and I've done it in my wife's SUV, who has Apple CarPlay, which is really cool because this works great on Apple CarPlay if you have like a GPS thing. Unfortunately, my motorcycle is a 2017, and I'm not cool enough to have CarPlay yet, but maybe one day I will. But it does work with it. So anyway, right now, just for the sake of an example, I live in Knoxville, and if you don't know that, I moved to Tennessee recently, and I used to live in DC. So I use this as an example. Going from Knoxville all the way up to DC, if you look in the top right corner, it says 486 miles, 6 hours and 23 minutes. Now, each one of these percentages here is the chance that you're going to get rain. So 20% chance of rain, right? Or excuse me, no, it changed. 15% chance of rain. It's because I have to zoom in a little bit more. There it is. So 15% at 8:23. If I were to leave right now, which is at 7:51 p.m., I'd have a 20% chance. Now I look outside right now. I'm looking at my window, and it's a little cloudy. It's not raining, but it could possibly. But as we go through the route here, it keeps going. We're going to X that out, and then 20%, 10, 5, 5, 10, uh-oh. Now we're getting a little bit hairier. So by the time we get to DC at 2:15 in the morning, which I'm really not going to ride that late, but the point is you have a 40% chance of hitting some precipitation there. So right now, this is live. So when you see this radar here, that's actually at 7:51 in near Richmond and West. That's like right over West Virginia, not down by Knoxville, but it bases the points that what you're going to see once you get to DC, the chance of you getting rain. So let me show you a couple of those things. So see the percentages right there? Let's say I want to know the temp. Then it does the exact same thing with the temperature, 78. And then by the time I get down to DC, it cools off a little bit. In West Virginia, it looks like, or Virginia, you're going through the mountains, so it drops like 61. Then it goes back up because then you're to 72 degrees when you get there at 2:15 in the morning. You can also do wind. So, and wind really would only apply is if you're like looking at crosswinds, especially on a bike. And then you could look at wind gust, which is the next thing. And so like at our peak time, I'll have an 11 mile per hour wind gust. Now each one of these points, you can go through here and look at it. So if I were to plug this in, it will tell you that at 9:23 p.m., the temperature is going to be 62, visibility 7 miles, precipitation 20%, intensity, it's not going to be that hard, winds 2.7, wind gust 11, feels like 23, UV index is 0. I don't even know what the hell UV index is. Ultraviolet, right? Never used it in my life. Anyway, the whole point is this is a great app for planning. Now, let me go over a couple key things here. So when you first get this app, there's the free version and then there's the pro version. The free version, you do get some of this stuff, but not a lot. Not probably the key thing that I'm going to share with you guys in a second, which is probably the coolest thing on this app and what I'm going to use the most for sure. If I had this app free and I just want to use it and plug it in, say, hey, I'm leaving right now, I'm going to get down to DC at 2:15 in the morning, here's my rain, it's great. You can do it that way of the free version. But with the pro version, see where it says right here, departure? You can go through and change what time you want to leave, and it's going to show you exactly the rain at that time. So let's say instead of leaving tonight and have a little bit of rain, I'm going to leave at 9 p.m. tomorrow. Same exact time. The only difference is now, once I hit done, I have 0 rain. Don't let that confuse you right now about that radar behind you. That's just a live shot right now. But it's based off the weather data that this app is projecting, and they use a bunch of different data points, and they're much smarter than me, so I don't even know how they do it. But anyway, right now I could say, hey, you know what, I'm going to leave a day and a half later because I don't want to get wet. And that's huge on a motorcycle, man, because I think we all know it's inevitable. We always get wet. So why not, use this app to help it? So we're going to go back to, well, first you can go up to, I believe, 7 days. Yeah, you can go up to a full 7 days and see where the weather is going to end up. And you can see it kind of changing right now, each of those percentages. So it looks like next week, the beginning of the week, it's going to be a little hairy near the Virginia, DC, and Maryland, Tennessee area. But towards the end, it's going to be really nice. When you hit the more button right here, this goes into settings. So first, it talks about weather on the way pro settings. You can add to Siri, share with friends if you want, leave a review, help if you follow on Twitter. Twitter doesn't exist anymore. It's X now, the big X. But under settings, you can change it to temperature if you're not from America. And, I think everywhere else but 3 places in the entire world use the metric system except us. So temperature is, Fahrenheit, Celsius. Temperature type, actual or feels like. Distance, miles, you get the idea. But you have all these different options where you can use. And now on the map, the show road conditions on the map, that's when you go to the maps, which you'll see soon. Avoid highways, avoid tolls if you want. Radar color here, this tells you essentially what radar you want to use. So if you want to use default, you can use the National Weather Service, you can use the Weather Channel, whatever you prefer. That's the radar color and stuff. This I dig. So when they're projecting the data and they're showing you what your percentages are going to be, they're basing off how fast you're driving. So since I am a little bit of a fast rider, not too much, but I am. If you're at 100%, they're going to base the data off that if it's a 70 mile per hour speed limit, you're going 70 and so on. If it's 110, you're going to go 77 miles per hour instead of 70. So it bases the data off your speed, which is really cool. Weather on the way, I have a pro lifetime thing on here, but you can, again, there's 2 versions. There's a free and a pro. And the free, you can do weather and temperature along your route. That's off the one time, and you can do that. And the pro has it all the time, weather alerts. But then that's where that pretty much ends. So adjust departure time, you get all this on Pro. Alternative routes, live snow and rain radar, precip, probability to mount, custom waypoint stops, CarPlay, radio, road visibility, wind speed, direction, feels like temperature, and UV index, the one I would never use. But on the free version, you can also save your route, sunset and sunset time, private and secure, and it's global in a bunch of countries. I got a couple more things to show on the app for you guys, but I will tell you that right now it's $4.99 a month, and they've got a cool thing I'm going to share with you in just a second, and it's $24.99 a year, so almost $25 a year to have this. And if you use my channel name, and if you were to upgrade to the Pro and check out, you use Broncoride, you'll get 10% off that yearly rate. And $2.50, baby. I'm saving you $2.50. But hey, you can go get a shot of coffee someplace. And there's also a lifetime one. I believe it's $84.99 is the total price of that. But this is pretty cool though, and I'm glad the developer stands behind his product and their product. They have a 7-day free trial, which you can do. But I think what's actually cool is they let you use the Pro version 5 times for free. So like you can get in there, and it doesn't have to be all at one time. And there's a caveat to that, so I'll explain in a second. So there is, if you want to use it today, and then a month from now, and then 3 months from now, you can do that. But each time you go into the app and then you start entering data, that counts as one time. So in other words, don't go in there and start entering 5 different points, because then there goes your 5 free things, if that makes sense. So definitely don't do that, but it does give you the chance to play with it if you want to do upgrade to the Pro. I will tell you that I would highly recommend the Pro, because it's got that planning feature where you can do this and that, which is freaking price of admission right there, is cool as hell. A couple other things I want to show you guys. So once I get here, and let me get out of here and I'm going to go to precip. So, and then let's just say, and let's see, it's departure 8:03 now. I don't like this route. Let's say, pretend this all said 90% or whatever. It suggests different routes. So if you click here, it will take you to a different route, and then you can take a look at the precip and say, you know what, I might take that route. Now it might be longer, but still, if you want to completely avoid the rain, I love that it has that option where it gives you several places where you can go to get to your final destination point, but you just have to choose which one, oops, get out of there, which one has the least amount of rain or whatever you want to do. So they have that. And then also, I think this is cool. So when you hit show timeline, you can go through here and it breaks it down basically every 30 minutes. So it tells you, you know, it's nighttime, 8:34, it's 15%, 15, 15, 15. And then as you get a little bit later, once it's 2:08 a.m., you can see the rain start coming. So it's like you're only going to hit rain on this one time. So once you're done with all this, you're happy and life is good. You're like, okay, I'm going to choose this map. Then you're going to hit those 3 dots and you're going to hit navigate. And, ooh, we got to zoom that out quick. You're going to see where I live. I live in Seymour, everybody. That will take you right to Apple Maps. And then you can choose which one you do. So like the one that we just chose a second ago, the one that had the least amount of rain, and then it'll map it for you. So it goes over to Apple Maps. Now the good news is the developers working on getting this into a Waze and Google Maps. So what do you guys think? I think this is like a super cool app, lots of information. I highly recommend it. You know, if you think about it, it's, you know, with that discount, it's $22.50 a year. Even if you use it like 3 times or 4 times during the year, I think it's worth it. It helped me actually on one of my rides. I took an alternative route, and it saved me from getting pummeled with some rain. Now, it added about 25 extra minutes, but it was pretty accurate. I couldn't believe how accurate it was when I pulled it up. So highly, highly recommend this app. I appreciate the people on Weather on the Way. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. As always, appreciate you taking the time to watch. Now get out there and ride. Be well. And I will talk to you guys soon.